Where's Joe?
I think he's at his sister's house. He's not talking to me right now.
I can't believe I'm sitting here just finding out you got an OnlyFans page. Out of all these years, yo, the disrespect that comes with it, that you couldn't even talk to me before you did it, that's bullshit, yo. That's fucked up, Keith. I'm telling you, yo, that's fucked up.
Wait, no. Calm, but you're not gonna say me or that's up. It's not up.
You recording me? What the fuck you doing?
Listen, it's not up, and we're going to. Okay, look, so. I have an OnlyFans page, and he's mad because he's just now finding out about it.
Of course I'm mad I'm just finding out about it.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I have to tell you my choice, my body, my choice?
I'm your partner, you're supposed to come to me and talk to me.
Joe, I've been talking to you about mad things. I've been asking for solutions to you're not giving me none, so I created one.
That's no solution. Not in my book. That's no solution.
You knew who the I was when you met me.
Before,
I
knew that.
Thought that I would never have to go back to anything like this again.
Beforehand,
but
unfortunately,
no. That's not the case right now.
After that, everything's supposed to change.
Everything did change.
No. Obviously, it hasn't.
No, it had to. I had to do something.
It hasn't. You stood out there showing your body. You stood out there doing stuff like this on camera.
You act like that's the only thing that I do. I have mad jobs, but they're not facilitating everything that needs to be done. So I got something extra. OnlyFans be breaking me off. What the
Come on, Keisha, with that. It don't matter what they breaking you off. It's the disrespect that comes with it.
What disrespect?
You couldn't come and talk to me about it.
Okay, well, we're talking about it now.
Because I had to find out on the fly.
All right, then. But now, okay.
No,
so, wait.
I had to find out on the fly.
So now you know.
Yeah, now I know.
Okay. And so? Whatever. I've been doing what I have to do, period. Like, that's bottom line. That's what it is.
So, okay. We're going to start with the first clip. As you guys can see, we also have, her follow-up video letting us know how all this, energy that she brought to the table worked out for her. But the first thing I want to say is that, a lot of people do not understand just the basic dynamics of what keeps a relationship together. Like, they genuinely do not understand that. And it doesn't matter how old they are. It does not matter how long people have been in relationships. It don't matter how long they've been together. It doesn't matter the examples that they've seen. A lot of people don't even know at a base level what can assist a relationship for going to the long haul. They have no idea. Can't figure it out. If you gave them a test for them to figure out, what the situation is or, how they will be able to keep it together, they wouldn't pass. They would fail. What part of a marriage would behoove you to go behind your partner's back and do something without their without communicating that to your partner first? And it's so interesting to me is because a lot of women in the comments of this first initial video were saying, oh, well, y'all ain't hear her the first time. She said, you know how I was when I met you and da-da-da-da. Well, if he can't do this and if he can't do that, there's so much like of the sisterhood backing this woman's mentality. Backing her, betraying her husband. But if it was the other way around and a man was doing all of these business deals behind his wife's back, or if a man had an OnlyFans behind his wife's back, people would be like, oh, no, girl, you need to leave him. He for the streets. That's gross. That's disgusting. How embarrassing. These men ain't going to be out here embarrassing me. But when it's a woman who's embarrassing the man or bringing shame to the man, a lot of women gather around to defend that action. Why is that? Why do women feel the need to support the foolishness of, you know, doing whatever you want to do or doing whatever it is that you gotta do, you know, making all these rash decisions and, you know, putting the respect for your husband or your spouse on the back burner. You know, these men don't matter. Their opinions, their thoughts, their leadership, it comes secondary. We as women have the ability to do whatever it is that we want to do. Where do you guys get this mentality from? And also, with this mentality, why are you married? What's the point? If you could do bad all by yourself, if you making a way all by yourself, if, you know, you can only rely on you, if you can only make the decisions for your, if, you know, you don't need no leader. You don't need to be led. You don't need nobody to guide you. You don't need none of that. So why are you putting this man through misery? If you got it, what's the point? You know, and the thing is that, you know, there was a very intricate conversation that the two of them had. But before I even get to that intricate conversation, let me dial it back. The fact that you have disrespected your man in a way, you know, that you are going behind his back, you are going around his authority in the relationship, and you are making decisions that can be humiliating to him and bring shame to your relationship is one thing. But then you doubled down on that and decided to record the conversation of him confronting you about said disrespect. So you disrespected him on top of the disrespect and decided to post it on social media. These are, you know, the type of women and you know, I'm just giving you guys my opinion. And these are the type of women that are setting the tone as to why men look at marriage in such disdain. And they're so uneasy about it. They're so uncomfortable to step onto that steady ground of quote unquote marriage because they're looking at the possibilities of what a lot of women are publicly showing. There's women who wake up one day talking about they graduate from their marriage. They don't want to be married no more. There's women who wake up one day, you know, decide that they're just going to pack up the house and leave their marriage and their husband got to see it on a Ring camera. And then they turn around and talk about, well, you know, maybe I would have thought about it differently. There's women who are going behind their husband's back and betraying them, betraying their trust, bringing shame to the relationship that he don't even know about. Makes them uneasy. Because I don't want to, you know, a man in a man's mindset, he doesn't want to sow into shaky ground. The foundation seems firm. It seems a certain way. It seems that you're portraying yourself in a certain light. It seems that you might be a good wife. It seems, but I got to watch you. Because I don't know when the bottom is going to fall out or you're going to pull the switcheroo and become the same women that I'm afraid of. The disrespect was already there. But then you film the disrespect. And it's like we're in an era where a lot of women prefer the clicks, the views, the support of the sisterhood, the support of random women that they don't know over protecting, you know, their images of their husbands. Protecting the relationship between them, especially when they have children. They care more about with other people who don't know you, who couldn't care less about you. How this man will put his life on the line for you. A lot of these people that you looking for the click, the views, the support from, they could care less. You know what they say? They say the same people that say yay are the same people that say nay. You do something wrong in the public's eyes, they're going to throw you under the bus. But this man who's supporting you, who's leading you, who's guiding you, who's providing you a certain lifestyle, who's done all of these things, you decide you're going to go out into the public. You're going to, oh, well, let me get a laugh. Let me get a little key. It's distasteful and it's shameful. It is shameful. The intricate conversation that I wanted to get into is when, you know, the two of them go upstairs and then they're having this conversation in the bedroom, and she's saying to her, well, you know, on the landing, and she's like, well, you knew who I was when you met me, whatever. And he said, yeah, but that was before. And I have to bring this up, you know, apparently she is alluding to some kind of 304 past that she had. Basically saying, well, baby, you know, I was a 304 in the past when you met me. So I don't know what made you think that even though I put on this housewife facade, that's who I truly was, because I still had that in my pocket. And I could pull out those 304 tactics whenever need be. I saw fit that it needed to be, and I did that. I ain't changed the game for you. I just put it on reserve. This is why we have the saying of you can't turn a 304 into a housewife. It does not mean that she cannot be a housewife temporarily. But you see, when you go through your 304 phase, when you have your 304 days, when you hanging out with your 304 friends, but you the married one now and you've changed, it all sounds good. But it stays with you. It resonates. It was an interview that somebody, one of these reality stars did, and she said, you could delete your 304 past. No, you cannot. You can't subconsciously delete it. You can't emotionally, spiritually, any alley, you can't delete it. It's there. It's staying with you. You can pretend. You could paint the picture. Even if you change, what's done is done already. Sometimes those things will come back to your remembrance, even if you're not even thinking about it. Okay, so it's so funny because I saw the first initial one and I was like, the way how that man laughed when he was walking out the door. I mean, obviously she has absolutely no respect for him. Okay, clearly she has no respect for this man. I think we can all blatantly see that. But when I saw, this man do that laugh, I was like, oh, okay, he laughing because, he already know what he gonna do. He already have his mind made up. And then I saw this video of her response. Now she doing an interview tour, I guess. So now we see her response. I'm going to go ahead and play it for you guys so you guys can take a listen.
Where's
How
Joe?
How are you guys doing?
Where's Joe?
He's pretty pissed off with me. So he's been, I think he's at his sister's house. He's not talking to me right now. So, yeah.
Keisha, how long ago, obviously we saw in the video that Joe's saying he had no idea that you had this account. How long is the account, have you had the page?
I've had the page for at least over a year. It's on my Instagram and my LinkedIn, but that's what happens when you don't pay attention to your wife, period. And,
Okay, first of all, what are you crying? Girl, what you crying for? Okay, what? I'm trying to figure this out. Girl, what you crying for? What are you crying for? Okay, but you the one talking about, and what you gonna do about it? And okay, yeah, and what? I did it. You knew who I was. What's the tears for? Shouldn't you be ready for whatever repercussions come? Because you could care less because you the boss in the relationship. You the leader. You the one that got the big cojones. You the one that's carrying the weight around. So why are you crying? And this is something that women always do. They always big, bad, and bold in the moment. Oh, I'm over this. I'm leaving. I don't want to be with you no more. I'm not doing this. This is beneath me. I'm out. Peace out. Women always got the most mouth. Can't wait to return back to the streets. Give it a couple months or to a year. They be the ones crying, boo-hooing. But why you don't want to be with me still? You don't want to save your family? Y'all don't know what the word humility means. That's a problem. Y'all know what all these other words mean. Narcissistic, this. all these other words, but the one word that could help you in life, you don't know what that word means. Okay.
And, you know, he has a friend that he's been entertaining, and she decided that, you know, she wants to really put a bigger, you know, wedge in our relationship. So she went digging around my page and was like, oh, do you know that she has this? And it blew up from that. And it's no secret, Joe's financial issues, you know, and I have always made a good life for myself, you know. Before I met Joe, I was living overseas in Europe, and I had established myself as a singer, you know, and I came back here, you know, thinking that with his persona and who he was, once we got together and I found out who he was, that it would only take off, you know, other things. But, you know, not everybody's hustle and drive are the same. And depression is a serious thing also. So, you know, I've been just like, you know, supporting and dealing and going through his trials and tribulations with him. I've started several businesses, you know, I've been doing a lot, like, and I just figured out, I have a home in Cape Verde I'm trying not to lose, and a roof over here we're trying to maintain that we almost got kicked out of. So I just kicked in the drive and did what I had to do, you know, and he won't do it. So I had to, and I'm sorry, you knew I was an adult video star when you met me. So if I would do anything for my own survival, then what makes you think that would change now?
If you would do anything for your own survival, let's capitalize and underline and put it in bold font the word anything. You're willing to do anything to propel yourself for tangible things, for finance, for whatever it is. If you're willing to do anything for yourself, you know, you're trying to figure out why your husband don't understand why you wouldn't be willing to do anything even though you guys are in a relationship together. And you know, the thing is, the plot just keeps on thickening because, again, I don't even need to reiterate myself with, if you was an adult film star back then, you know, you changed, whatever it is, you know, he decided to accept you for who your past was, but he's thinking that now that you guys are together, that you have evolved, you grown, maybe these were the transgressions of your youth, and he gonna love you through it. We already talked about that. Okay? We already been through that. This is why they said, same saying, can't turn a 304 into a housewife. Okay, boom. But then you're talking publicly about this man's, you know, financial issues. You're talking about his mental health issues. Can you just let me know, when you guys decided to get married, what your vows entailed? Because this is why marriage is deemed as a joke nowadays. Because y'all go up there and y'all say everything for the wedding. But when it comes to actually putting those actions into play, into the actual marriage, y'all don't got the tools. Okay, embarrassment already happened. Shame already happened. Now you just digging it, you know, even deeper for this man. Talking about his mental health issues. If you felt like your husband was going through any kind of depression, he was going through, you know, tough times or whatever, what made you think by going behind his back and taking matters in your own hands, and then when he finds out, you film it, and then now you're doing an interview tour? What makes you think this is going to be of any assistance to him if you really love him? Because you don't. And this is what men are afraid of. Because it's not just the women who have 304 pass that be acting like this. And then you try to, you know, hit the switcheroo where, you know, he should have been paying attention to his wife. And, you know, his friend, it don't got nothing to do with nobody else. If you have a link on your page, a link to page, it can be website, it could be all type of stuff on there. You said that it's right there, it's out in the open, and then you turned around and said that the woman was digging. So was it out there in the open, or what, did she have to dig for it? Which one is it? If it wasn't a secret, why didn't you post any of those posts on your social media, on your Instagram, advertising said page that's supposed to not have been a secret? Why didn't you do that? Because it was a secret. There's nothing wrong with if you guys are having financial issues, maybe he's down in the dumps or whatever the situation is. There is nothing wrong that's saying, well, you know, or bringing certain ideas and having certain conversations about what you guys can do financially. All right, babe, you know, what if we do this? What if we put some energy into these ventures? I know you're going through it. I know you might be depressed. I know it might be hard for you from being an NBA player with, you know, certain, guaranteed checks, and now our life has changed. Well, how can we get through this? How can I be of assistance to you? No, you emasculate him. Take the crown off of his head, put it on yours, tell him, go have a seat. Let me do what you can't do.
When I retired from the adult industry, I promised myself if I don't sing, I don't eat. So when, you know, my music career wasn't popping here when I left Germany and I stayed here for him, I figured, you know, I would, you know, start a business. I started a puppy friend social club business, a dog sitting business. And then COVID happened and that screwed everything up. I have a moving company, you know, that he actually works for me. Like he works for my moving company. You know, I'm tired of being the one to figure shit out. So I figured it out the best way I know that can maximize the money that needs to come in, because I'm tired of living like, you know, I'm tired of living minimal, you know. It's not fair. And I don't understand how you could have had such a maximized life and be so content. This is ridiculous. But we've been together for almost 13 years, though. We've been together since 2012, like after his retirement. And it really wasn't a retirement that he wanted. It was a forced retirement because he just got locked out after the lockout in the 2011 lockout. You guys remember,
Right.
You know, he just never got a new job. Nobody wanted him anymore. So, you know, there was a depression, and I've been going, you know, dealing with all of this stuff. And I'm sorry, you know, I'm not sorry for what I'm doing. I'm just sorry that he can't understand that that wasn't a selfish decision. It was a decision that I made. I made an executive decision when my man wasn't taking the lead. I really love Joe. I love him. If he never speaks to me again, I still will do things to help him or whatever I can, because he's my family. You know, he's like an intricate part of my life, and I just want the best for us. And I wish he wanted that also. That's really where I'm at. You know, I wish that he wanted the best for us, because he's not really wanting the best for himself. So I can't expect him to do for him what he can't do for himself, I guess. And that's why I just did what I had to do.
Have you drawn that line in the sand that you will continue doing OnlyFans? Unless
something else happens that, you know, changes that, no, I'm going to continue my OnlyFans. I think as a couple and just him individually, he needs counseling to help find out how to re-find himself and find his new place in the world. You know, it's really hard once you've had a major career. You were the number one draft pick, and then everything ends. You know, how do you deal with that? I don't want to be alone, but, you know, if that's what it has to be, that's what it has to be. But I don't think we'll have a divorce. I don't think so. I think he'll come around.
You know, my interpretation of everything that she just said is that not only do you not respect this man, but you take this man for a sucker. Okay? You think that for whatever reason, you know, I don't know if it's his emotional state. I don't know if it's his well-being, the way that he carries himself, whoever he is as a man, you feel like you control him. You feel like you're over him and he cannot do without you. And this is why I stand on it. I said it before. I have to keep saying it again. This is why I believe that when a woman loves a man more in a relationship, it is more of a benefit to the entire relationship. Because when a woman feels like she has a man on this string that she can just pull around, women are already chaotic in nature. So she just gonna be pulling this man left, right, center, all over the place. This is not, this is, first of all, this is not healthy. But second of all, again, you're saying that you don't want to be alone, but everything in your actions have shown that you do want to be alone. Whenever you start making decisions separately from your partner, just know that you are ruining your relationship. It doesn't matter how small the decisions that you are making separately are. And again, that's why I say a lot of people don't even know the intricate details. Everything in your act, he couldn't do this. You have all this understanding for why he's in the position that he's in. But instead of, trying to deal with your spouse, or instead of trying to communicate with your spouse, instead of trying to assist him on the front, you go behind him and betray him. A lot of people think, the ultimate betrayal in a relationship is just cheating. Anything that you are doing behind your partner's back is betrayal. Anything. Whether that's talking bad about them to your friends, to your homegirls, to your coworkers, to your mama. Whether that is, doing whatever. There's so many ways and means of betrayal. But we highlight cheating as the highest. But there's so many avenues. The thing is, people go through things, people grow through things, but, if she wants to stay in her relationship with her spouse, I think that she is genuinely making it harder for herself by constantly telling their business, constantly releasing more and more information. It seemed like you just wanted to use this to come to the forefront so you could get more subscribers to your OF page. That's what it seemed like to me. It seemed like, even if it's, the cause of this man's demise, you're willing to do, as we said, bold, cap locks, underline, anything to propel yourself, no matter what the cost. And I think it's sad. This is just my opinion. I would like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.